Hey everyone, it's the Grumpy Meeple, and I am back with another video. This time we're doing something a little bit different, and what we're going to be doing is taking a look at the Pledge Manager for Dungeons and Lasers 3rd Edition. And I'm going to kind of walk you through the options available and talk about the shipping and then kind of make my selections, and you guys get to watch me spend a bunch of money on dumb plastic garbage that I love. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, so here we are on GameFound. We're going to go to the project home. So all the prices are in euros, which is a little annoying. I don't know that there's a way to change that, but oh, here we go, actually. No. Yeah, it's locked. Euros. Euros or nothing. That's kind of annoying, but whatever. And then you can see we've got basically a bunch of different pledge types. We've got rapid delivery pledges for the various options, and then we've got the kind of normal delivery pledges. It looks like the price difference is about $20, and the rapid delivery stuff is supposed to ship like 2 weeks after you finish the Pledge Manager, so a year in advance basically. So the pledge that I opted for was the City Pledge, and basically the way that they handled this is they just give you the credits. You kind of selected the pledge on the Pledge Manager, but they don't care how you spend it. So you can get kind of any one of these pledges, really. So I think the one that I'm going to get, I'm a little torn. So this one comes with 3 base sets. You can get, any combination of the Sewers base set or the Dungeon base set. And you can get the Sewers with various kind of color options. This one doesn't come with the base sets, it just comes with 17 rooms to choose from, which is very cool and a lot of options. But just in terms of like the raw amount of stuff you're gonna get, this is definitely less. The rooms, 17 rooms, because you get 11 rooms with the City Pledge anyways, as you can see here. So an extra 6 rooms does not equal 3 core sets in terms of just raw plastic. I don't think it's really even close. And so I think I'm going to go with the City Pledge. You may hear my kids in the background. I try not to film when they're around, but honestly, time is short these days, so I gotta do it when I can. So bear with me. They're very cute, but they're also very annoying. All right, so we're gonna go with the Rapid Delivery City Pledge. And then you can see basically you get to select all of the options that you want. So I think I'm going to start out with a sewer core set with just the water. I don't really want waste. I assume that means like sewage, which the water is just a little more functional. You could use it for other non-sewer, like you could just kind of put a river in between your, tiles or whatever, in a non-sewer set. So that seems useful. And then I'm just going to get 2 more of the dungeon sets. In terms of the rooms, I need to look. So I've got 11 rooms, and then I have the choice of the Townsfolk starter set or a 12th room. So let's take a look at the Pledge Manager. So we've got the core sets here. We've got the Sewers core set, and then, which you can see comes with the water tiles and then a bunch more kind of your standard, kind of different wall and doorway tiles. And then the other core set that you can get is the fantasy core set. So I'm getting one of the sewer core sets and 2 of the fantasy core sets. But then I got to choose what rooms I actually want. So you've got the lava caverns. This actually doesn't interest me at all. And I'm not entirely sure why. It just doesn't speak to me. The various colors are cool, I guess, but I just don't like the kind of monochrome color of it. And I have trouble imagining how I would paint this. So I'm not interested in that. I am interested in the royal castle, the wooden cottage, the Tudor mansion, the stone tower. Interested in all of those. The city streets, I think I would get a city street set, if for no other reason than just because it does have a lot of pieces. And these look pretty cool. So it comes with a lot of these pins. I'm not entirely sure why it comes with so many more pins, but and this would be really cool for something like Arcadia Quest. I think if you were to build out Arcadia Quest or Zombicide, you could actually use city kind of tiles for the exterior areas. The roof set, this is one of those things where if you were going to get into this, you would have to buy like 5 or 6 of these, I feel like. I don't think I'm gonna jump into the roof set, but I want at least one of the rest of these. So going back to our pledge manager, we want a Tudor mansion, stone tower, city streets. What about where's the wooden cottage here? And the royal castle for that matter. Oh, that's weird. Why do some of these? So I guess some of these aren't shipping rapid. It's kind of a mix. That's okay though. Tudor Mansion, Stone Tower, city streets. I do want the rapid wooden cottage. And I want the royal castle. So one of each of those. Then we get into the sets that were pre-existing. So you've got the Cursed Cathedral, the Dwarven Mine, the Torture Chambers, which is really cool. I'm probably going to get 2 of that. A Hall of Heroes, and the Warlock Altar, which is also very cool. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 2 Warlock Altars. I don't even know if I have enough for all these options actually, but I definitely want at least 1 Warlock Altar and Torture Chamber. I wanted another Hall of Heroes because I already have one of those. And another Cursed Cathedral. And another Dwarven Mine. So this will give me 1 Tudor Mansion, 1 Stone Tower, 1 City Street, 1 Wooden Cottage, 1 Royal Castle, and then it'll give me a Warlock Altar, a Torture Chamber. I'll have 2 of the Hall of Heroes, gives me some options with the sets that I already bought. 2 Cursed Cathedrals, because I already have one of those as well. And 2 Dwarven Mines. So, in terms of other sets, wow, these Warlock Altars are cool. I really like this design on the walls and such. I think I'm gonna get another Warlock Altar and another Torture Chamber. The city streets, that's a tough one because again, it's one of those things where if you don't buy multiples of it, it's probably minimally kind of useful. I don't think I'm going to go with the city streets. I think I'm going to go with... It's very cool, but it would almost be like you would have to kind of like pledge for nothing but the streets and the roofs to really be able to actually use them kind of across your dungeon. Okay, so what do we have so far? Let's just get this kind of organized. 2 warlock altars. Cursed 2 torture chambers we know we wanted. We wanted a cursed cathedral, so I have 2 of those. We wanted a Hall of Heroes, so that I have 2 of those. We've got 1 royal castle, 1 wooden cottage, 1 stone tower, 1 Tudor mansion. So I have the option of getting 1, maybe 2, doubling down on a couple of these sets, basically. So, which one of these would likely make the best choice in terms of like being able to build a larger room? The Tudor mansion is really cool. The design on the walls is incredible. Also, it looks like it would be a real pain in the ass to paint. The wooden cottage is cool too, though, because the wood floor textures are so different than anything else. I think I'm going to definitely go with 2 wooden cottages. And then maybe 2 stone towers. So the question is, so when I say I might be able to get 1 more floor, what I mean is that I have the choice. I can either get the townsfolk or I can get another room set. And right now I'm leaning towards getting another room set. The townsfolk are interesting, but this has a much higher chance of being kind of a pile of stuff that never gets put together, much less painted, than the terrain does. So I don't think I'm going to get a townsfolk set. And so while I have 2 wooden cottages, I also have a decision to make of what the last set is that I want to kind of sub in for one of these other. I already have 2 of all of these in my pledge. So it's really just between these 3 rooms up here. I think I'm going to go with, man, there is some really cool design on these floors and walls for the Tudor mansion. That is very, very cool. And this is pretty generic. There's really not much difference between the stone tower. I think I'm going to get another Tudor mansion. Okay, so we've got a sewer set. The only other question I have is, do I want just 1 sewer set? Because I already have a dungeon set, and it's a lot of terrain. Here I'm adding on 2 more basic dungeon sets. And while, like the whole idea behind backing this for me was that I wanted this to be the first and last time that I ever have to back Dungeon Train. Basically just finish it, right? And so I was thinking, boy, if I just get 3 of these fantasy core sets, that's going to be so much crap that I won't even be able to fit it all on my table with all these rooms. But now I'm wondering if it's actually too much. It's so much stuff. And maybe I should get another of the sewer sets so I can mix that up. Because they come with basically these look very similar to the walls that you already get. So you get 12 walls and 8 long walls. Whereas here you get 27 walls and 14. It's just so much more just pure stuff. And the water is very situational. You know, if I'm thinking about using this, because again, I'm not thinking about using this for Dungeons and Dragons. I'm thinking about using this for Arcadia Quest and Chronicles of Junivor and such. And so while the water is very cool and I'm happy to have the option of it, I don't know that it has a place in that setup because it's very, very specific. And so I think I'll stick with what I've chosen so far here. All right. And then on top of all of this insanity, you get all these rooms. You get all the stretch goals, which I'm hoping that they did a really bad job of outlining exactly what the stretch goals were during the campaign. Like, what is this? This is weird. Okay, so you get 96 more miniatures and 94 terrain pieces. This is another reason not to worry about the the townsfolk, because you're getting almost 100 miniatures, and by miniatures they mean dragons and monsters and such, and people. And then you're getting another 100 terrain pieces as well. So that is just a mind-bogglingly huge amount of content. And then you get this Adventures Trail campaign, which I don't really care about, and a set of the connectors. So we're going to confirm that. But I don't think I'm quite done yet, because the other thing that I really love in these sets is stuff like the add-ons. There's some really cool add-ons here that I think I probably would want to also get. So there's so much stuff in this campaign, it's unbelievable. A base pack, that is, I'd have to rebase, guys, but that is tempting. Just for €4, which is like $6, it's a lot of bases. I think we're gonna hold off on that. I'm not interested in Jerry the Jello. I don't need any more dragons. I think I'm okay on the half walls. But I do like the stairs. Just because I think they add a lot without adding a lot, if that makes sense. So I'd be tempted to get some stair sets. In terms of doors, I am definitely interested in getting some more doors potentially, and what I'm really thinking about is getting more of these stretch goal sets, because this is just an insane amount of stuff in these stretch goal sets. It's like staggering. It's not as much, let's see. Because in the campaign, they were calling out that the stretch goals, that it's the fantasy set. See, this is different because, as far as I can remember, you got fantasy and sci-fi in the original pledge, in the stretch goals for this second edition. But I might be wrong about that. It may just be that, again, this comes with so much stuff. I know that there's sci-fi stuff mixed in to the first stretch goals, but I don't necessarily remember if there was in the second. So I'm going to add one of each of these. I think that's enough. It's so much stuff. Heading back down, man, the stairs, see, it's like you gotta look and you gotta figure out like what's already in here. So there is already a stair set in this box, And there's a couple, and some of them are sci-fi themed. But I'd be tempted to add a couple more stairs because I just think like this is just going to sit right up against the wall, and it's not gonna. You can just kind of throw this somewhere, and it's just going to add a lot of flavor. You know, it's going to make it feel like it's three-dimensional. Or if you build, you know, a multi-level set, this becomes like essential. So I think I'll add one of those. I really like the stone bridge. That's really cool looking. Oh, the battlements. That is so cool. Don't know how I would actually use these. I'm not even sure how these get used. It looks like they just pin in like walls. Yeah, I need one of these too. Guys, this is ridiculous. Guys and gals, sorry. I always do that. This is ridiculous. This is so much crap. This is like, I think this is useful because it looks like these work just like the walls, and so you could just, this is just like more walls with kind of a different theme. You could put them on a second level, but you could also just have them. It's almost like a fence, you know. Okay, here we go, where they get into the add-ons. Multi-part and easily configurable set of wooden stairs. That's interesting, but not as interesting. Multi-part and the easily configurable set of stone stairs. That I'm probably interested in. The doors. These are closed doors. I don't know that that's super interesting to me. The market stall, you already get one of these. It's really cool, but I think you already get one. I don't need another one. I don't need any of these miniatures. Oh, should I get another set of the 3rd edition stretch goals? You know, I would if I had any goddamn sense of what is in the stretch goals, but because they did this, they have this weirdly like artistic way of showing what's in the stretch goals, and they kind of don't like just get into it and like show you the miniatures. If they were all miniatures or all renders, it'd be a little easier to read, but and this does come with a lot of see, look, like some of it is just like these raw images, and then some of it is renders. I don't really understand why they did that, but I'd be more tempted. Man, there is some cool stuff in there. Holy shit, look at this. Look at this blacksmith's forge and like multi-part kind of L desks and mailboxes, and there is a lot of cool shit in here. Alchemist, blacksmith and bank stuff and tavern stuff. Ugh. Brutal. But I don't want all these miniatures. That's the problem. They really should give you the option to get just the terrain 3rd edition stuff. I think I'm gonna hold off. I think I've got plenty of this stuff coming already in the set, so I'm not gonna get another of the 3rd edition stretch goal sets. But getting back to what I might get. These street lamps are really cool too. Yeah, those are really cool. I gotta have a set of the street lamps. This is funny. It doesn't even tell you how many you get. Oh, here you go, times 10. But in this, does it? Yeah, it just says street lamp. Oh no, there's a giant times 10 there. Guys, I'm not the brightest tool in the toolbox, I guess. There's a giant thing that says times 10 right there. The balustrades. See, the idea with the balustrades is you're supposed to put them up on like the 2nd floor of a building, but I think they would work just as well on the 1st floor as just like a wall. And then the battlements as well. I think I'm just gonna stick with the battlements. You get 10 pieces. That's a significant amount. That's enough to do like a whole side of a building or something like that. And I think that really opens up a lot of interesting options where you could build kind of like an open courtyard or something like that, or you could use them as they're meant to be used, you know. I don't have a sense of what the trim packs are for building multiple stories. Yeah, I probably would at least want the option of building multiple stories, so I think I'll get a trim pack. This is out of control. It's a good problem to have. Too much awesome stuff to buy, but man, there's a lot of this stuff. Let's see where we're at. Oof. Almost an extra $100. 100 pounds. Got the city pledge, more stretch goals. Got the fantasy stairs, the battlements. Oh my god, I don't want to see all that crap. The street lamps and the trim pack. I think we're close here. We're close to the end. What else? The stairs are cool, but I don't feel an overwhelming need to have a bunch of them, and there are some of these in the stretch goals. I think we might be good. Yeah, I think we're good now. This is an insane amount of stuff. And so, just to review, we've got the core set, sewer, 2 of the fantasy themed core sets. We've got a Tudor mansion room, a stone tower room, 2 wooden cottage rooms, a royal castle room, a hall of heroes, which gives me 2 because I already have one, a cursed cathedral, which gives me 2 because I already have one, 2 of the torture chambers, which might be the coolest room in the whole set, honestly, although the warlock altars are very cool too. 2 of the warlock altars, and then another Tudor mansion. And I'm mostly buying that so that I can get the wooden floors, basically. We've got the stretch goals, we've got the rapid delivery, and then we've got another full set of first edition stretch goals, second edition stretch goals. We've got a set of the stairs, which is 10 pounds. And there are some, I think I'm gonna pull this out. Yeah, and then we've got a set of the battlements, a set of the street lamps. I think if anything, I'd be tempted to add another street lamp, but I think these are still somewhat situational. And then we've got a set of the trim. So let's see if we can check out without revealing a bunch of my personal kind of information, because I want to give you a sense of how much the shipping is. Yeah, and then it gets into my shipping address and my billing address. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Not that I don't trust you guys, but I don't trust you guys. So I think we're pretty much going to call it there. I'll put in the description what the shipping ended up being. But they do call out in the campaign what they estimated it would be. I know it has gone up because they've already posted a note that as an update that the shipping has gone up from their original estimates, but I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere around this, like $40, maybe a little more. The shipping wasn't crazy on the set that I bought previously, so I imagine that it probably won't be super crazy here either. And so yeah, so that's it. Thanks for hanging out with me while I kind of go through this pledge manager. I don't know if this is interesting or useful to anyone. I kind of had to do this anyways, and these are the kinds of like thought processes that I go through when I'm trying to select a pledge and make all these decisions. And so maybe some of it is of interest, if only so you get kind of a glimpse at the mind of madness and the amount of thought that I put into these pledges before I submit them. So yeah, that's all I had for now. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later.